Hollywood. If there's anything we've learned from the Minecraft movie trailer, if we can even call it a trailer, it's that Hollywood has a major problem and it's only getting worse. The Minecraft movie trailer dropped a few months ago and everyone knows it didn't get the best reception as far as movie trailers go. There are even reports that the trailer got over 1 million dislikes on YouTube, which, I don't know man, if something gets over 1 million dislikes, just scrap it. Literally just scrap it. Now before I go on, I just want to preface that I made this video a couple days ago before the new official trailer that just dropped. And with the drop of the new trailer, I was kind of hoping that the producers would go another direction entirely, and apparently they didn't. Every problem I had with the previous trailer is still present in this new one. They changed next to nothing. Now I'm usually not a fan of judging things based on trailers or 1-minute snippets. A movie or TV show could be horrible or great despite it having a good or bad trailer. And this happens occasionally. I remember watching the trailer for Venom the first time and it just being an eyesore to watch, but when the movie came out, I actually liked it. Obviously, a trailer is not a 100% accurate representation of the quality of a movie. However, it is a good hint as to what to expect from that movie. And golly, we should not be expecting much from the Minecraft movie. This trailer is one of the many cases in which it uses less than 4 minutes to tell you everything wrong with the movie. And we are going to use less than 11 minutes to talk about everything that's wrong with the movie. Now, a good question is, how can a 3-minute trailer generate so much negative backlash on the internet? Immediately it drops, there are already articles about it and videos on the internet talking about just how bad it is. It's a good question because rarely does this happen. Usually when a trailer drops, people are just generally excited about it or disinterested. This is one of the rare cases where people are mad, and if you look at it from a broader perspective, it's easy to see why. Okay, there's surprisingly a lot to go over, but the biggest issue with this trailer has to be the fact that it's live action. You guys know how I feel about Hollywood's stance in trying to make literally everything live action. I've talked about it in my last video about Borderlands, but in that video, it really wasn't an issue with the movie, more so a general discourse. But oh my god, this literally proves my points entirely. This should have been animated, point blank period. There is nothing on earth that suggests this should be live action. Does Minecraft look like live action material to you? I don't think so. Yeah, moving brick pixels just scream live action, don't they? Now I get that live action might appeal to some people more and not everyone wants to watch cartoons, which is just a silly argument by the way. Because fiction is fiction whether or not it's live action. Doesn't matter, they're both not real. Some things are just better off animated. Tons of Disney movies are animated and they are classics. And it's almost ironic that Disney is the company leading this obsession with live action remakes, but at least it's obvious why they're doing it. Naturally, it makes more sense to create a live action remake of an IP rather than retell the story as an animated movie again. It's a lazy tactic on Disney's part that relies solely on nostalgia to pull audiences, not the story itself. I can understand that. Disney is a company that is heavy in profit, and nowadays it's just unbelievable what they'll do to make that profit. To be fair, they're not the only ones guilty of this. Barbie got its own live action last year. Avatar did as well. You get the gist. I understand that studios are doing this to attract a broader audience. I understand it. Doesn't mean it makes sense. And it's even worse when the material you're adapting is obviously not meant to be live action. And you might say, pray tell, Joshua, what is it that makes an IP fit for a live action? And I'm going to answer that in one word. Intuition. If I were a producer and I was tasked with the job of turning the Minecraft game into an enjoyable family movie, my first thought would be to make it animated. I mean, this isn't Jumanji, this is its own unique world with its own unique design, characters, and animation. The characters look like block pixels, and you want to convince me that this man is somehow this character? That they're the same people? Honestly, I wouldn't even say intuition is what will inform me of the best choice. I'd just say common sense. But anyway, talking about characters, this has got to be the weirdest casting choice for this movie. The internet is displeased with the casting of the movie, and do I even need to say too much? If you're literally going to be this oblivious in your casting, I really have no words. What is the similarity here? Now, I'm aware of some people's nitpick with casting Daniel Brooks. Many people believe she's a DEI addition to the cast, which okay, yeah? None of these people are meant to be in this movie. If anything, they're supposed to be voice actors, cause it's supposed to be an animated movie. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself, let's get back on track. You don't blame one slice of leftover ham for the repulsiveness of a trash can. You blame the whole trash can. What I'm trying to say with my horrible metaphor is that Daniel Brooks should not get separate criticism for the same pile of trash. I just wanted to clear the air on that because I really believe it doesn't make sense to single out Daniel Brooks as the biggest flaw in this movie when she's only a contributor. And on the issue of casting DEI, Hollywood does have a huge problem with that. But in this movie specifically, I'd say it isn't that big a deal, especially when you consider the other really big deals. Still on casting, I want to talk about Jack Black specifically. They couldn't have been more off if they tried. This is another major problem with Hollywood. They genuinely think that a famous actor or a cast of famous actors is what makes a good movie. That if you just slap on a couple of A-list actors on a movie title, people will go watch. That couldn't be any further from the truth. Sure, people love when their favorite actors are featured on a movie. Granted, the movie is good. Of all things that make a movie a blockbuster, personally, I'd say whether or not an actor is famous is one of the last things I'd consider. Not all blockbusters have A-list actors in them, and not all movies featuring A-list actors break even. This has been true since the inception of cinema, and it's still true now. This obsession with casting A-list actors is a bigger problem than we realize. Nowadays, actors' paychecks are getting fatter and fatter, and the people that actually write these stories don't know whether they're going to be employed the next week. Before you go all savage mode and lecture me on how the majority of actors are also underpaid and don't have any job security, I know. I'm aware. I'm talking about the top 1% of actors, the ones that can walk away with anything from $1 to $100 million on a movie or a franchise. That is just nuts. $100 million on a franchise. I don't even understand. How are you paid that much? What even is the budget of these films? And if you're wondering why are these people even being paid that much to act in a movie, well, it's all thanks to good old demand and supply. Because of streaming services and the overglorification of actors, studios nowadays are very interested in famous actors, and not just any famous actor, the top 1%. Frankly, this has been the case for the longest time in Hollywood, but I feel now it's way more prevalent, and when you consider star-studded movies like Barbie that did astronomically well because of the nostalgia effect and the caliber of actors in it, the recent trend is self-explanatory. These people are getting paid just ridiculous amounts of money because studios and producers believe their presence alone will drive ticket sales. Talk about delusional. And nothing proves this is absolutely false better than Argyle and the new Borderlands movie. Both star-studded films that absolutely tanked at the box office. Borderlands was particularly interesting because I've never seen a star-studded movie bomb so hard it was almost physically painful. If the producers of the Minecraft movie somehow think that casting Jack Black, Jason Momoa, and Daniel Brooks in the movie will be enough to get people's butts in theater seats, they are in for one massive shock, so massive they could almost get physically electrocuted. But horrible jokes aside, if the story of this movie and the visuals doesn't land, there is going to be a huge problem for them. Another thing that could be a huge problem for Warner Bros. Is if they decide to not be faithful to the source material. Now, I do realize that Minecraft is a 3D sandbox video game, and it allows gamers to basically explore the ever-expanding world of voxels in their own way. It's quite interesting, and it's easy to see why millions of people across the globe love the game. The game is a cultural staple at this point, and numerous people are heavily invested in it. So you'd imagine adapting something as beloved as this is a huge responsibility. They literally can't afford to screw up. If Game of Thrones has taught us anything at all, it's that you don't screw up a beloved franchise. People will never forgive you for it. When you also consider Borderlands that came out not long ago, it's apparent why a lot of people might be weary about this movie. Borderlands was a disaster. It was so bad, in fact, that it only got 10% on Rotten Tomatoes and made only 31 million worldwide. That is borderline traumatic, and no one wants that for Minecraft. But looking at this with the Jack Black stunt, I don't know what we're in for. It really doesn't just look good. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what Warner Bros. Does for the movie. Hopefully our eyes don't bleed out like it did with Borderlands. But I want to know your thoughts. What do you think is the fate of the Minecraft movie? Is it doomed or not? Let me know in the comments. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up so I know you guys liked it. Till next time. Bye.